just on like I don't know. I feel like I've done too many work related videos recently. But anyways, I'm gonna tell y'all about this new job that I got. And one thing about me is I'm gonna switch jobs, okay? But right now, I work with kids and I'm basically with them all day. It is my first like 8 to 5 job. It's not even 9 to 5. It's literally 8 to 5. And I've just been like stressed out recently because I feel like I've been in retail for like almost 10 years, right? And when you work in retail, I was working part time. And part time is like you work a couple days and then you get the day off. And then you work a couple days, you get the day off. It's always like completely random. It's not like you have one set day off or you don't have like weekends off or whatever. So pretty much retail, I would pretty much be working weekends all the time, right? Because retail be busy on the weekends and stuff like that. Um, and when I was working part time, my shifts were only like, 5, 6 hours max. I was not working 8 hour days unless it was like around the holidays. Then I was working like 11, 12 days and stuff like that, right? So since I got this new job and I literally have to work like Monday through Friday, and that's like 9 hours every day, right? But the thing is, I get a 1 hour lunch break, so technically I'm only working 8 hours, right? But me, I be factoring in all the time that it takes for the whole workday, right? So I count in the time where I have to like wake up, make breakfast, I gotta drive to work, and then I work, go on my lunch break, work some more, and then I gotta drive all the way home, right? So in total, that's probably like 11 hours that people be working. And that's why I always wanted a job that's closer to my house. That way, like, I don't have to wake up super early, or the drive isn't too far to where I'm gonna like run into traffic. It's gonna take me like an extra 10 minutes because of the traffic. But this job, it's like a good 20 to 25 minutes away, right? So now I find myself waking up at like 6 o'clock just to make sure I eat, because I'm at the point in my life where I can't just like skip breakfast, even though I hate breakfast and I'm not a morning person and I be feeling like nauseous in the morning and stuff. But I make sure to eat like a little bagel or whatever before I go to work. And nobody told me that working with kids is so like different, right? Because I know people who work there and they say that they like the job, whatever. And then my mom is a teacher, and obviously she likes her job because she's been doing that for 15 years. But I never imagined myself being a teacher, or just working with kids in general, because I've always said that I hate kids, but kids love me. That's just how it's always been. And I've never babysat before. I've literally never done anything regarding kids before. But working like 8 to 5 every day can be extremely exhausting, and it sucks because I'm trying to like make friends at the same time. Because if y'all watched the live before this, I was talking about how I downloaded Bumble to like meet up with girls in the area, blah blah blah. So because of my schedule, I can't just meet up with them like during the day. We can't go on like a random picnic, or we can't go to the mall to go shopping, blah blah blah, because the only days I have off now are the weekends. And I feel like I'd be too tired to hang out with people on the weekends. And it sucks, like some of these girls, they be asking me to hang out like right after work, because if I get off at 5 and then I don't get home till like 5:30, or even closer to 6, depending on the traffic, right? And then I'm gonna go home and change, and then you expect me to like hang out with y'all at like midnight at the club or something? So I really don't get how these people, they be partying and stuff like after working an 8 hour shift. Cause me personally, I be tired, okay? And it's like, I feel like the week has been going so slow because I got lucky to where I started right now, and we just had like a 3 day weekend because teachers get off like holidays and stuff. So I got lucky. I kind of started at the right time. So that way this week I only have to work 4 days, but still I'd be like exhausted. I don't know how people be doing stuff after work, but I'm gonna keep y'all updated with this new job. And who the hell knows, because every time I get a job, it's like I try and stay there for a while, like just to get experience. How like people want it on your resume, be like, oh, you worked here for a year or whatever. So I might try to stay here for like 6 months to a year, and I don't know if I'm gonna end up liking it. Because it's like I do like working with the kids, but at the same time it's like low-key a strict schedule because you gotta like feed them and make sure they go to the bathroom and take them to recess, and there's a lot that goes into it. So I don't know, because I'm kind of winging life right now. Don't really know what type of job I want because I've always felt like I'm not meant for working. And I don't know, I've not really dreamed of it, but always thought about like being my own boss, owning like part of a company or my own company, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I literally be doing like YouTube stuff, social media type stuff, because it's like I can make my own schedule. I can wake up whenever I want as long as I get like certain things done. And, I can film videos whenever I want and then post it and then just make money randomly, right? So I've always wanted to be a YouTuber specifically for that reason. Like I didn't grow up with any like goals or aspirations. Like I'm not one of those kids that's like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a firefighter or a lawyer. No, I was not thinking like that. My thing was just like, dang, like we really got to work for 80 years after we get out of school. Like that's crazy. So it's even funny now because even when I'm like dating guys and stuff, they'll be like, oh, I want a girl who's like driven and motivated and successful and she has long-term goals. And I'm like, bro, that ain't me, because me, I don't have long-term goals because we could die tomorrow, so I'm not trying to plan my life 50 years ahead when I don't even know if I'm going to be alive or not. And I just don't want to work for my whole life either, because I've seen people, they work super hard when they're like a teenager and then they retire when they're like 40 or whatever, but then it's like you're just sitting around waiting to die unless you get another job, right? But then the other way around is if you had it like easy growing up, you taking your time, and then you're working when you're like old, you're working when you're like 50, 60, 70, and then you still have to wait to die afterwards. So either way you got to work and then die. So that's why I've just never seen myself staying with a company or a job for like 5, 10 years at a time. Like I want to learn how to do everything, how to be everything. Like I'm a crafty type person. I can't see myself working in an office and like doing paperwork and stuff. That job is just so boring to me, right? So we'll see if I like this job, because since I'm working with kids, it's basically different every day. And, like you can't really predict what they're going to do because the schedule is like the same, right? You do everything at a certain time. But with the kids, that kind of like mixes it up a little bit at least. And then, I do my little social media stuff on the side. And that truly like keeps me sane because I can't imagine working a boring office job and then coming home to do nothing. Like I know people have other hobbies, but my hobby is basically social media because I would do this regardless if I was getting paid or not. But in conclusion, I just don't like working. Like, people ask me, like, what's my dream job? I don't know. I don't like working. Even if I like the job and they paid me $1 million an hour, right? Like, I don't know. Because when you have a good job, they pay you a lot, you work a lot. Like, I just wouldn't enjoy working. And I'm also not one of those people who is like, oh, I want to marry like a rich husband and have him take care of me and pay the bills. I'm not like that either, because I would still get bored and have to like be active or whatever. But I'm just winging it right now. We'll see. I'll probably have like 5 jobs by the end of the year. And I know that's going to be annoying when I do my taxes and stuff, but we gonna see what happens.